Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the results and analyze them of NXT Vengeance Day 2023. Here we go. For match number one for the NXT North American Championship, Wesley versus Dijak, formerly known as T-Bar, formerly known as Dominic Dijakovic. So at the start of the match, Wesley has a flurry of offense, but Dijak is dominating most of the match until Lee makes his comeback almost at the end, and he almost wins the match. And Wesley does show a lot of fight during the match. Near the end of the match, Dijak jams Wesley in a computer chair with armrests. So Wesley's sitting in, and anyway, those that saw the show know what happened there. And Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo came to help Wesley get out of this jam, and they basically helped Wesley win the match. So why did Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo come there? Well, probably, first of all, Wesley versus Dijak is not over by a long shot. That's the first thing. Second thing, Tony D'Angelo wants that North American title, and he thinks it's gonna be easier to get it from Wesley than to get it from Dijak, who already beat him. So I think that's the end result of this match, is the fact that Tony D'Angelo is thinking that he's going to have more difficulty beating Dijak for the North American title than Wesley. So look for this triangle around North American title to continue. Let's go to the second match. NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. The champions Kayden Carter and Katana Chance were facing the unorthodox team of Kiana James and Fallon Henley. Now, at the start of the match, you see that Kiana James and Fallon Henley don't really have the same views on how to win the match. Kiana James is ready to cheat her way in victory, while Fallon Henley wants to do things the right way. She doesn't want to cheat. Now, James and Henley do win the match. A little cheating from Kiana James on the pin. And now, I did predict that Carter and Chance would retain the title, but in my predictions, I did say that there's a chance that Carter and Chance win the titles for the shock value. So that's exactly what happened there. A lot of people were not expecting Chance and Carter to lose the titles. They did, and it will be interesting now to see the reaction when Fallon Henley realizes on video review or whatever however she becomes aware of the way they won the title, how she will react on how they did win. Now, Carter and Chance are probably going to demand a rematch, which could take place in the coming weeks, or maybe at Stand and Deliver, but we'll see. Probably they're going to continue the feud a little bit until Stand and Deliver, where probably Henley and James are going to keep the title, and Chance and Carter are going to be called up to the main roster. That's what under reserve there. But we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions in Kiana James and Fallon Henley. It's going to be interesting. Next match. Probably the match I was looking the most forward to was next. Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes. 2 out of 3 falls. Now, why was it the match I was looking the most forward to? Simply because those two athletes are amazing. Now, until that match, I was 0 for 2 in my predictions. So I was having a pretty bad night. That's when my luck turned around. I did predict Carmelo Hayes would win 2-1. Well, he won 2-0. And he won the first match after a very hard fought battle. And Trick Williams removes the top turnbuckle, but it backfires on Hayes, but he didn't lose a fall even with that. Uh, so at the end of the match, Trick Williams goes to hit Apollo Crews with a chair, but Daba Kato, if you remember, Colonel or General or whatever his rank was, Aziz, that was with Crews on the main roster, prevents him from doing so. But Carmelo Hayes wins the second fall with the nothing but net to basically shut out Apollo Crews. Now, this is the way to build back Carmelo Hayes after being shut out in the Iron Survivor Challenge, winning 2-0 against Apollo Crews, who gave Braun Breaker a lot of trouble in the championship match at back at Deadline. That's a good way to build back Melo's credibility. And after the match, Dabba-Kato attacks Crews. So Dabba-Kato attacking Crews is going to be Apollo's next feud. And that should, well, we'll see what it's going to come out with. I do hope they're going to put Crews over on this feud to build him back. Because right now he lost against Braun Breaker. He lost against Carmelo Hayes a couple of weeks ago. And he lost again 2-0 against Carmelo Hayes. So if they want him to eventually win the NXT title, they're going to have to start building back his credibility. But during my predictions, I said that the winner of this match would be the next challenger for the NXT title. And that's basically what we saw at the end of the show, but I'm going to come back to it. So let's go to the next match. NXT Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. Gallus versus Chase U versus The New Day versus Pretty Deadly. Now, I was pretty sure that The New Day would lose their titles there to go back to the main roster full time. That's exactly what happened. And Gallus won the match and are new tag team champions. So what that means for each team? Well, New Day, like I said, they're going to go back to their main roster full time. So no problem there. Chase U, that was probably their first, if it was not, it's one of the first shot at the tag team championship they had. So maybe in the future they're going to win them, but they're not quite there yet. But they had a good showing, so it's good. Pretty Deadly were 2-time NXT champion. They were NXT UK, the tag team champions, and their credibility in there is not really at risk in this match. Gallus just won a big match. Former NXT tag team UK tag team champions in their own right. So now they have both of them. Oh, well, they did win both tag team championships. So huge wins for Gallus. And it's going to be interesting now to see if what other team is going to challenge them next? Is it going to be Chase U? Is it going to be uh, Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs? Probably a good chance that those two get the next shot. The next shot at Gallus, or maybe the Creed brothers, the winners of the Creed brothers and in the share are going to get a shot at Gallus after. We'll see what the tonight's NXT program is going to be like for the future. So let's go now to the women's title match. NXT Women's Championship, Roxanne Perez versus both remaining members of Toxic Attraction, namely JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. So, as expected, at the start of the match, Toxic Attraction works together to try to soften up Roxanne. Sure enough, during the match, JC hits Gigi by mistake outside the ring. At one point, Dolan pulls JC in harm's way during a Roxanne Perez dive, and both Dolan and Jane break each other's pin attempts over Roxanne. So that was to be pretty expected during the match, and Roxanne Perez did win and retain her title with pop rocks from the second rope on JC Jane, if I remember right. I didn't write that on my notes. I should have, but anyway, she won the match. That's the important thing. So one thing, huge win for Roxanne Perez, beating essentially a tag team. Even though they did interact with each other and everything, so it was kind of every woman for themselves, and in that kind of matches, the psychology was perfect. So huge win for Roxanne, big boost of credibility, and it's going to be interesting now to see what's going to happen with Toxic Attraction. Are they going to have a falling out, or are they going to rebound from that and maybe go after James and Henley for the tag team titles? I expect Toxic Attraction to be called up to the main roster after WrestleMania. But WrestleMania is still almost 2 months away. So we still have a couple of months of Toxic Attraction, maybe helping building up teams towards the top tier of the tag team division in NXT. But it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with both members of Toxic Attraction going forward. Now, let's get to the main event, the NXT Championship match. NXT Championship match, Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller. Now, after starting 0 for 2, before this match, I was now 3 for 5. Not bad. Good comeback. And after this match, I was 4 for 6. So 66%, 67% right predictions. Not as good as I was on Royal Rumble, but for NXT events, that's pretty good because usually I suck at my predictions on the NXT. So I'm going to take the win when it comes. So Braun Breaker, nice match, good match. Psychology was good. And Breaker hits the spear, doesn't cover Waller, says he runs NXT, hits a second spear, and wins the match. So what does this do for each of them? Well, Waller had a good showing, showed that he could be the face of the company, the face of NXT in the near future. Not now, but in the coming months, I think he could be a good fit for a champion. I think he could be main roster ready, and we've seen some people come up without winning the NXT title. The first name that comes to mind is Damian Priest. Uh, but after his win, you saw Carmelo Hayes come out and confront Braun Breaker. So as I said after in my analysis of Hayes versus Cruz match, the winner of that match was going to be the one challenging the champion, whoever it was. And knowing that Hayes won, there was a great chance that it would be Braun Breaker, which is exactly what happened. So, Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, we're going to see Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. I'll see how the storyline develops, how the feud develops between the two. But I think Carmelo is going to cash in that night and he's going to win the big one because I think Braun Breaker is going to be called up to the main roster after WrestleMania. So that's my analysis of the results from Vengeance Day. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you like my content, talk about it to your friends. Let's build the community a little more, a lot more. And hope you like my videos. Now, I know I'm late on my Raw and SmackDown analysis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep up to date. I'm going to do the Raw videos probably tomorrow, Wednesday, February 8th. I'm going to probably do the Raw ones, and then I'm going to do some catch up. So they're not going to be in chronological order, my videos, until I catch up to my all the videos I missed doing right now because of computer problems and things like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do last Monday's Raw, and then I'm going to do another from the ones I missed, maybe two. Then I'm going to do Friday's SmackDown on Saturday. Sunday I'm going to try to catch up one more video, and I'm going to try to catch up like that. So, like I said, there won't be a chronological order until I catch up all the videos I've missed right now. From what I see, I'm still 6 or 7 late right now because of all the computer problems I had. So anyway, bear with me. That was out of my control. And I'll see you soon. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to do my Raw from February 6th videos. Then I'm going to do 1 or 2 to catch up on the rest, and then try to catch up in the next few weeks, have everything done, and maybe start my storyline analysis every week for NXT. I'm looking forward to starting that. I'm starting to really like the NXT brand. Not as much as I used to back when Adam Cole and Gargano and Ciampa were the main guys, but it's starting to get back there. So hopefully Triple H continues on that trend, and we'll see. So please help me reach new heights, and have a nice day.